I'm just going to share a little bit about my experiences with Skype and mystery Skypes in particular. I've started using mystery Skypes about 3 or 4 years ago, and it's a fantastic way to, gamification of geography lesson. So what a mystery Skype is, it's about a 45 to 60 minute critical thinking exercise where two classes connect over Skype and neither of them know where the other class is. The teachers obviously do. And then the students take turns going back and forth asking questions that can be answered yes or no, trying to locate the other school's location in the world. I'll just share you my screen. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet. How we going now?
Yep, it's good.
Cool. This is a blog post I've just done it. So with time differences, I actually run it as a Skype night where my kids, we sleep at school, or we don't really sleep too much, but we stay at school overnight and we mystery Skype around the world so we can connect with, we start off with schools in Australia, then move through Asia, Africa, then Europe, and then finish off with, North America or South America, late at night, early in the morning. So this is a blog post I've done that just explains what we do. But so the first thing you need to do, you go to the Microsoft Educator Community website. So I don't know if anyone's been there before, but if you sign up, it's free to sign up. You create an account, and then through there you can find other classes to connect with. So there's hundreds of thousands of teachers on there that you can connect with. And it's a really simple process. There's a video there that you can watch to explain how to do it, but you can filter, looking for age groups, specific subjects, regions and availability, which, I recommend filtering through, at least find people who are available at the time that you're looking for. I also just put it on Twitter, on the Skype Classroom webpage, on the Twitter page. There's a lot of teachers that are active there that you can find other classes through, or you can always just contact me and I can hook you up with some people. But it's a fantastic exercise. The first thing I do is I teach my kids to ask general questions to start with. They want to jump in and say, "Oh, are you from Los Angeles?" And they don't even know what continent or hemisphere that the kids are. So I created a little document here where we follow this process where they've got to find out whether in the northern or southern hemisphere first. Then we look at what continent they're at. Then we start looking for coasts or landforms near them before we work out what country they are. And once we've worked out what country, then we start going for land features in the continent. So maybe if they're in the United States, we might say, "Are you east of the Mississippi River?" And then we go down, looking for town names where the kids actually have to identify what town, looking at size, looking at what features are around their town, asking questions about that till we know get noted down to find their place. The first time I did this lesson, it was with a school in Alaska, so it was really cool to, it was summer here, and we got to look out the window of their classroom at the end of the Skype and see them they went and had a snowball fight for us, took the camera out. And, my kids never get to, don't really travel outside of Monto. We don't really see cities or anything, so it was pretty cool to see a snowball fight. But we have travelled the world. A couple of years ago, my class went to every continent and over 50 countries. We finished the last day of school with Skyping with a scientist sitting next to a penguin in Antarctica, which was fun. But the first lesson we did, one of the girls came up to me and said, that was a geography lesson, wasn't it? I was like, yeah, absolutely. So that was the best lesson ever. And now, as myself, I've travelled a lot and I'm pretty good with the map, but I've learned, now I know where places and states are and all that really well. And the kids just nail it. They can look at a classroom and listen to accents and look at what's around and pretty much nail what continent they're in. and fairly amazing with their land features. They know all the continents. They know a lot of the major landforms around the world and the oceans, and they can work out pretty quickly where another class is. So a lot of fun, and it's great teamwork. So they all have different roles. So some of the tools that we use, mini whiteboards. You need some maps, obviously. And you have different roles. We have greeters, so they're the person that introduces the class. You don't give away where you're from, but they introduce what grade level we are. And then they'll be answering the questions and asking the questions that are brought up to them. Our think tank. So this is our think tank. They're the bulk of the students, and their job is to come up with the questions. So they're looking at maps. They've got Google Earth up. They've got atlases. And they're generating the questions. Then we have runners who will run the questions up to the next group, and they run the questions around the classroom. The filters, their job is to filter, so the questions will come from lots of different students, and their job is to make sure that they're reasonable questions that haven't been answered before or asked before, and following our activities, our pro forma of what questions we ask when. Our weasel people, they're over here using the whiteboard, the whiteboard easel, so they keep a track of all the questions that have been asked and whether it was a yes or no answer. So that helps us narrow it down. Taskmaster, so somebody keeps the kids on task. The biggest thing when you're doing it is the noise level gets really loud. It can be hard to hear, especially when the other kids might not speak English as their first language. So the taskmaster's job is we also call them the shusher, and they go around and tell everyone to shh and keep them quiet. You'll see this is my classroom in a Skype. So I have the think tank right at the back of the room to try to minimise the noise. And then my people are answering. My filters are in between here. I have a blogger. So this is the blogger here taking photos and writing a full documentation of where they're from and what sort of questions we asked and what they did, and then so that goes up on our blog page. And then a good thing at the end is we have our closers. So the closer's job is to, as the Skype lesson's going, they're starting to come up with questions. So once we know what country they're in, they'll start generating questions to ask about that country, and they've also got a small presentation about our town that they'll share with the other school at the end of the lesson. Parents love to get involved in my Skype nights. I have about the most I've had is about 50 kids come. I have kids. I've got one in the room now actually but there's a bunch of them that come back. They've graduated, but they still come back to participate in the Skype. So we've got one girl travels 2.5, 3 hours to get her parents to drive her to come back to every Skype night. So there's a real community sense to it. The parents like to come along and enjoy it, and got past pupils that still want to come back. And it's something that the younger students look forward to being able to come, when they finally get permission to come along and participate in a Skype night. So you can see they have a lot of fun. That's kind of, has anyone got any questions or anything they want to ask about it?
Was your first one terrible?
No, it wasn't actually. It was, we actually won. So, a win's a win. I must say, it does take a little bit of preparation in working out, I worked out probably after about a month that we needed this pro forma where they had their questions, that they worked out what order of questions, because they do love to jump. Oh, they must be in Cambodia. And I'm like, why do you think they're in Cambodia? Oh, it just looks like it. I know that country name. So there's got to be a little bit more thinking. So just teaching that thinking process is an important step. Just that starting off generally in their questions, broad, and then narrow it down to the very end to find. Sometimes if we find the town early, we'll actually go down to see if we can find their school. Which is a lot of fun, and it's very competitive. Both classes are going. Neither wants to lose, and Well, there's high fives going everywhere when they get, when the answer is a yes to a place, and and there's a lot of good camaraderie between the classes, and from that we've actually end up being blogging partners with quite a few of the schools classes that we connect with and stay in touch with, and I've got probably 3 or 4 teachers that every year we'll Skype with, hit their new class. It's just, I've now got a good bank of teachers that we all just connect every year and do. I do Skype nights about 3 or 4 times a year, and then I can fit, if you can fit in Asia and obviously Australia during our school hours. But the good thing is there's a whole bunch of teachers. So I'm a Skype master teacher. Microsoft, because I do it quite a lot, they made me a Skype master teacher in Australia. But there is a whole lot of Skype master teachers. There's about 100 and I think it's 150 maybe around the world, and a lot of them do these Skype nights, so they stay overnight. So I'll quite often get a message saying, doing a Skype night, can you participate? So then we can Skype with, Spain. We did Spain a couple of weeks ago, and I've got the Netherlands coming up, and so quite a few teachers, so you do have opportunities to Skype with some pretty cool places during the day as well.
Awesome.
But it's a lot of fun. I really, I highly recommend it. The kids learn a whole lot, not only about the geography, but just about people, the kids in other countries. They just get a better understanding. Just see kids are kids, and there's no difference whether they're black, white, Muslim, Catholic, whatever. And out of that, we ended up last year doing monthly Skypes with classes in Pakistan, where they would teach. We would say what we wanted to learn about one month, and they would teach us, and then the next month we teach them about something they wanted to learn about. So it was a fantastic opportunity to get to see the world and get a different perspective on things.
Awesome.